So later this evening, Newcastle will be playing Wolves. Everton will be playing Manchester United tomorrow. Early fixture, 12:30. Arsenal will be playing Brighton. Southampton will be playing Chelsea. Watford will play Leeds. Then on Sunday, Brentford will play West Ham. Norwich City will play Burnley. City will play Liverpool. Super Sunday. So yeah, let's talk about Newcastle Wolves. Just what do you see?
Okay, so
Wolves won their last game. Newcastle lost their last game against Spurs.
okay, so I feel Newcastle's home form has actually been tremendous compared to Wolves away form. Wolves away form hasn't been that good, but the only thing I know Wolves has is that they are very good defensively. But I just see the match ending in a draw. There's nothing special about the match.
Yeah, the major.
I feel I go with draw. Although if anybody is going to win, I feel Wolves. Wolves should be able to win.
Everton, Man U. What do you think, Major?
Everton are not in a great form like this, and we know of Man U also not in a great form. So I believe draw. That's the best choice.
I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I'm going for Everton.
What about Arsenal, Brighton?
Arsenal, Brighton. Arsenal. Arsenal should win that.
Arsenal lost their last game
Arsenal should win that match.
against Palace.
Arsenal should win that match.
Brighton also are struggling currently. They've not won, I think, the last 3 games in the league. So I go for Arsenal to win.
Yes.
Southampton.
They've not won the last 5.
5 in the league. Yeah.
Yes.
Southampton, Chelsea.
Southampton, Chelsea are Chelsea.
The major.
Arsenal, Brighton. History-wise, Brighton always turn
Brighton
up
always
against
give them
Arsenal,
tough time.
so I feel draw. I also feel draw because they always turn up big time against Arsenal. And again, Arsenal, if their defense line against Crystal Palace was horrible, big time. So I feel if they come with that same mindset, they will suffer against Brighton.
Yes. Southampton, Chelsea.
Southampton, Chelsea. Champions League will be on Tuchel's mind, and Southampton are really big shockers for top teams. So I heard Chelsea, 1-0.
Watford, Leeds.
That's a relegation battle. Leeds with a lot of goals.
All right. Brentford, West Ham.
West Ham.
All right. Toby, what do you think?
As for Leeds versus Watford, I'm tipping Leeds.
Why?
Leeds will score. Yes, they will concede, but
Watford too will score.
Watford will score. The only problem is Watford would know that, okay, this is my relegation counterpart, so they will want to attack. That's why I actually think will happen. And if you attack, you are leaving space in behind. Marsh is going to go all out for it, while Oxen will be kind of pragmatic about his tactics. So I just feel Leeds will have too much for Watford. Too much. Just too much.
Yeah.
Then the last match,
Brentford, West Ham.
Brentford, West Ham. A draw.
Norwich, Burnley.
Norwich, Burnley. Burnley.
And City, Liverpool.
I'm tipping City.
All right, Dimeji. Norwich, Burnley.
Norwich, Burnley. Norwich, Burnley. Burnley needs the points more because I feel Norwich is gone already. So draw. I feel draw.
All right, City, Liverpool.
City, Liverpool. That's the battle of the midfield. I feel that win and draw. I'll go with a draw.
Who is Spurs playing?
Spurs is playing
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Yeah. What do you think about the game?
Conte is going to beat Gerard. Aston
Villa at home.
They are up and down, yes. Aston Villa is today off, tomorrow on.
Yeah.
And Tottenham is also in edge for the top 4 for the Champions League. So I'll go with Conte, Spurs.
What do you think, Toby?
I actually feel it's a draw.
All right.
A draw.
So for me, I think the game between Newcastle and Wolves tonight, I think Wolves will win that. I think Eddie Howe's bounce effect has run out of it already. You know, I think now we're about to see the Eddie Howe we'll see next season. Hopefully, they buy players that are buying into his system, which they will anyway. And Everton, Man U, it's just like how what's his name, Burnley manager. What is the Burnley manager's name again?
Sean Dyche.
It's just like how Sean Dyche said on Wednesday. That he told his boys at halftime that Everton has forgotten how to win. And fortunately for us, Ronaldo, at least if everybody in mind doesn't know how to win or score, I can count to Ronaldo on that. So I think Lampard is in big trouble. I think Man U will win emphatically. Then next game, Arsenal, Brighton. They are both okay. Brighton is struggling. Arsenal isn't struggling, but the pressure is more on Arsenal. Partey is out, probably out of the season. Gerard out of the season. And Tavares has only played one game since late January, early February. And that one game was against Palace on Monday.
Yeah, like he came back.
So I think, the way things are currently, they're not looking good for Arsenal, especially on the long run. With Partey out, he would have to rely on Lokonga,
Xhaka,
and Xhaka. No, Xhaka is definitely going to start. I'm talking about people that will pair him. That Lokonga, or he pushes Odegaard into the midfield, because now they are, and this was, if you can remember the match, this was what I talked about in January, that if one out of their center midfielders get injured or their center back gets injured, who is going to replace them? So now, as it is, Partey is probably out of the season because he has a thigh injury, a recurring thigh injury. If one out of the center backs get injured, then Rob Holding is coming in. So now they are beginning to look thin, and there are going to be runs of games because they are just 8 games. Arsenal have Arsenal has 9 games to go, and the season is ending next month.
Damn.
So they are going to have runs of. So I feel like even if they win tomorrow's game, which won't be easy, they might suffer another casualty tomorrow.
And Brighton is very.
Brighton will also keep the ball. Brighton too are under pressure to at least score. But Arsenal are under more pressure because now Spurs are ahead of them. Man U breathing down their neck. West Ham breathing down their neck. And if Wolves should win tonight, Wolves will be 1 point behind Arsenal. So I don't know how that's going to go, but if I'm going to judge from history, Brighton gives Arsenal a lot of problems. So probably a draw. Moving on to Southampton, Chelsea. Chelsea they've not found good patch. I mean, they've been struggling for a while, but now I don't know if it's beginning to take a toll on the manager or the players. And Southampton also have been in and out of form. They usually have good game against Chelsea. They might not win, but they do have good game against Chelsea. So I think I want to see how Tuchel puts his team together for tomorrow, because I was disappointed with his presser after the match against Real Madrid, saying he doesn't know if the tie is still upon based on the way they play. Like, he really criticized the way they played. So I don't know, because I will expect Arsene Otto to play his normal game, come out, press, play high. Hopefully they can. The only good thing I see, favoring Chelsea is that the striker they loaned to Southampton won't play tomorrow.
Roger.
So bar that, I don't know. Probably a draw also, or a narrow win for Chelsea.
Bravo, my God.
Then moving on to Watford Leeds, I'm going to side with Toby also. Leeds, I think Leeds will win this because Watford will come out I mean, Watford will come out. Leeds will play their normal game. Because the only difference between this Leeds and Leeds under Bielsa is that this Leeds is not as attacking as Bielsa's Leeds.
And they don't mark man on man.
They don't do man on man, which is why they are more coordinated defensively.
Yes.
So with that in mind, Watford will score. Definitely Watford will score. I don't know. I feel both either teams might win, but I'm inclined to go with Leeds. Then you have to put in mind Everton's slip up against Burnley. Because now the distance between Watford and Everton is just 3 points.
Okay, so that's an extra motivation.
It's extra motivation for Watford. And also, Leeds are 16th on the table. The difference in Leeds and Watford, or let me say Leeds and Burnley, is 6 points. Burnley are playing Norwich. Relatively easy side. So Leeds will definitely want to get the whole 3 points. Because even if they draw and Burnley wins, the difference will be 4 points. So like, they will definitely want to win this. Also, I said earlier that Newcastle are not out of relegation, but Newcastle have 31 points. They are just 1 point ahead of it. And Newcastle to have tough fixtures.
Yes, very tough
fixtures. Moving on to Brentford, West Ham. Brentford, I said this when they signed Eriksen. That other clubs that are in that position that failed to sign Eriksen, they will hear it. And they are hearing it currently.
That like the knock-on effect of signing Eriksen is evident.
I know Eriksen would definitely not be in Brentford next season. The difference in class, in quality, is so clear. Whenever they get the ball, they play out of the back easily now.
The decision making,
the composure in the midfield, the elegance, everything about Eriksen, screams top player. He should, if not for what happened, he should not even smell that kind of. Because nah. So I think and West Ham playing on Thursday, they really put in a lot of extra effort.
Yes, too.
Against, so I think it's going to fatigue again.
Yeah,
they have to travel. But no, Brentford is not in London, are they?
Is it?
They're in London. But the trip back to England and all that, I don't know. It might probably end in a draw. If West Ham should win this, well, then kudos to the whole West Ham. But I think this might end in a draw. Moving on to Norwich, Burnley. I feel like whenever Burnley have this kind of opportunity to leapfrog whoever is ahead of them from the relegation battle they field this season so far. So I don't see that changing. I'm going to side with Midge on this. I think Norwich would get something out of this game. Probably a draw at most. Or at least probably a draw. Then the next game, Aston Villa versus Tottenham. I mean, I'm going to shock you guys. I think Villa wins this comfortably. Yeah, Gerard's results against top teams has not been good since he got the job. But he has done pretty well with Villa. And Villa have a frightening strike force in the squad.
And they play very good football.
They play good. They play well.
They play very good football.
I think Gerard has something to prove because he has lost a lot of encounters this season against teams that Aston Villa look at that in 2 years, this is where we want to be. Next season, this is where we want to be. So I think this game is going to say a lot about if Gerard will be successful with Aston Villa or not. Because now he has, I mean, when this guy took the job with Spurs, they were like 9th on the table at some point. And when Gerard took the job, they were like 14th or something on the table. But in the last 2 years, I think Aston Villa has spent more money in their squad compared to Spurs. So I think I think Gerard will also want to get something out of this game to show that next season they mean business. So I think at most, Villarreal gets a win or a draw. I don't see Spurs taking 3 points from this game. Then the last game, City, Liverpool. if the officiating is not poor, like how it has always been in the previous season when they want to walk league for City, then I think the match is going to end in a draw. But if they dabble in the officiating, then definitely City will win. But besides that, I think the match is ending in a draw. Or Liverpool might even win because City has not been good. Yes, they've been keeping the ball, yeah, they've been playing the Guardiola way. But they've not been creating clear-cut chances, they've been weak at the back. And with the options Liverpool have at the front, at the back, everybody's fit currently. I think Liverpool will give City a run for their money. So I'm going for a draw. Liverpool wins the game.
And again, City does not have a stable defense.
Yeah,
Defense is shaky
yeah.
big time.
Ruben Dias is not playing tomorrow.
So it's very, very, very dicey.
I'm not sure Kyle Walker is available because he
will.
didn't play.
He has
Was he
suspension in
suspended?
Champions,
Okay.
And again, Liverpool haven't played Man City with Thiago, Fabian, and Henderson in the midfield. So it's a tight.
Exciting outing. I'm excited to see the game on Sunday because most people think it's a title decider. I don't. I think on Liverpool's part,
yes,
it is because Liverpool still have, I won't say tough fixtures, but some about 2 or 3 stubborn opponents compared to City. I still expect City to drop points even if they win this game. I still expect them to drop points for season ends. But that aside, it's interesting to see how both managers line up and on Sunday. So we are moving to the Spanish La Liga. Sevilla will play Granada later this night. Sevilla season, man, I don't know.
Mixed bag.
I don't know. It just went downhill from late January. From the cup game to Europa League to the league. Now they are 4th on the table. Although they have same points with Atletico and Barca, but they are 4th on the table. I don't know. Granada this year they played better at least compared to last year. I'm not sure they are still in relegation threatened. They are.
They have 29 points.
Like 3 points away from
But
drop zone.
they've gotten better results this year than they did last year. So I think this is going to be another tough fixture for Sevilla. Yeah, what do you think, Toby?
I think the problem Sevilla has been having lately, like the past 2-3 matches, is scoring goals. That's the problem they have been having. And Granada is, as we all know, very, very solid defensively and very good on the counter. So the problem is, it's not like Sevilla isn't playing well, but the problem is creating chances and also taking them. So I actually think the match will end in a draw, or Granada will actually nick 3 points from them. I don't see Sevilla winning it.
Major, what do you think?
I feel there are issues for the last 3 games. They have too much of resources in the attack line. So picking the right combination for each match is the issue for the Portuguese. So even I feel he's going to do the same mistake this night also, picking certain players to start against Granada, and I feel until the game goes south before he decides to affect the games.
Yeah, so Cadiz versus Real Betis play later tomorrow. Fixture tomorrow. Real Betis, they won their last game against Osasuna. Cadiz, I think Cadiz won their last game also against Villa. No, that was the previous game. I don't know what Cadiz played last time. But
They won against Villarreal.
No, that was 2 weeks ago. They beat Villarreal 2 weeks ago. So Betis play Cadiz tomorrow. Cadiz are relegation threatened too. Betis form away is quite good. So I expect Betis to take their 3 points.
And Betis has been a good form. Their last 3-4 games, they've been okay. So they should take that momentum into the game.
Yeah, Dimitri.
Yeah, Betis. I'm also going for Betis. Maybe like a 1-0 win or 2-1, most likely.
Yeah, later tomorrow, Mallorca face Atletico Madrid. What do you think?
Atletico.
What do you think?
Atletico. Because they are Champions League, I feel they will have that at the back of their mind. So Atletico.
Yeah, Villarreal, Athletic Bilbao. What do you think?
Draw.
Alright.
Draw.
What do you think?
Same draw.
Real Madrid, Getafe. That's another stubborn team. Real Madrid.
Yeah, they're actually like a boogie team to Real Madrid. I think they beat Real Madrid the last time they played. Or draw. Let me even confirm. Yeah, they actually beat Madrid. Yeah, they actually defeated Madrid 1-0 at the arena. So it's actually going to be a tough one. And with Madrid having Chelsea at the back of their mind, they are going to make some changes. So I just say an upset. I don't know, just an upset. I just feel it'll be an upset.
Yeah, next game, Elche, Real Sociedad. What do you think?
Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad for me.
Yeah, Levante, Barcelona, last fixture on Sunday night.
Barcelona will win. Yeah. Conveniently safe.
Yeah, for me, I feel Betis will beat Cadiz well. And the game between Atletico Madrid, Real Mallorca really need to get something out of that game. And Atletico will be looking at Man City game that they can still get something out of the tie. So I don't know. Atletico have been, they have been frauding their way to get maximum points in the league so far over the last probably 4 weeks. So I think Mallorca would try to get at least a point out of this game. Then Villarreal, Bilbao, Villarreal, they've lost their last 2 league games. They lost to Levante last week 2-0. They lost to Cadiz. And Bilbao have been on form. In fact, Bilbao are just 1 point behind Villarreal.
But they have actually lost like 4 of their last 2 games.
Athletic Bilbao.
Yeah.
So, regardless, I feel Bilbao might get something out of the game because I expect Emery to rest players, and they don't have, their squad is not that. So I expect him to rest players because even if he doesn't rest players, he really took a lot of energy to maintain that momentum against Bayern. So he's definitely going to take a toll, whether he likes it or not, if he rests player or not. So I think that might play into Bilbao's and Bilbao might get a draw or win. Then Madrid, Getafe. I don't know if Ancelotti doesn't rotate, which I don't expect him to. He's not known for rotating. They will probably get maximum points, and it will affect them against Chelsea, definitely. But if he rotates, then the match can go either way. But I don't see a draw in that match. I think either team gets maximum points. The next game, Elche, Sociedad. Sociedad has been struggling so far. They won their last game, but they've been struggling. They got eliminated from Europa League last 2 months. Was it last month or the last month match? So they've been struggling. And Elche also have not really. Well, Elche, they're a stubborn side. They can be a stubborn side. But I expect Sociedad to get maybe like a 1-0 win or something. Then the last game is Levante, Barcelona. I think the first leg was a draw.
Yes. Levante, Barcelona, yes, it was a draw.
It's going to be tough. But Barca have the squad. They have you can decide to rotate and still get a decent, very good squad. So I'm inclined to go with Barcelona to win. So like on the league table, Madrid they are first, Barca second, Atletico third, Sevilla fourth. So Barca, Atletico and Sevilla have same points, 57 points each. Barca they do have a game in hand. Betis they are fifth, 53 points. Sociedad 6th with 51 points. Villarreal 7th with 45 points. Bilbao 8th with 44 points. I mean, I don't really see any movement on this table. Probably Atletico Madrid will drop to 4th because I see them drawing the game against Mallorca. But besides that, I don't really see any other shuffling on the table. So yeah, let's move to Italian Serie A. Inter face Hellas Verona tomorrow. Inter they beat Juventus the last game 1-0. A well-earned victory. Cagliari will face Juventus. Juventus lost the last game against Inter Milan. They'll be itching to get back to winning ways. And Cagliari, they are relegation threatening team. So interesting to see how that tie goes. Genoa will play Lazio. Lazio won their last game against Sassuolo 2-1. Genoa, under their new manager, they've been grinding out results. So interesting to see how that tie goes. Napoli, Fiorentina. Napoli beat Atlanta 3-1 at Atlanta Stadium, so it was quite an interesting game at Bergamo last week. And Fiorentina, they are 8th on the table, just 1 point behind Atlanta, 2 points behind Lazio. So Fiorentina had to have something to fight for. So interesting to see how that game goes. Sassuolo who face Atalanta. I don't know how that game will go. They both lost their last game. Sassuolo will score, Atlanta will score. So interesting to see how that goes also. Roma will face Salernitana. I expect Roma to take maximum points. Then Torino will face AC Milan. AC Milan dropped points against Bologna on Monday. They play 0-0. And Torino is a tough side. So I'm beginning to think AC Milan might not win that trophy because they lack firepower. Interesting to see how that game goes. Toby, what do you think about this week's fixture?
Okay, so let me start with AC Milan. I'm going through their stats here, and I see them winning this match against Torino because Torino haven't won in their last 4 matches. In short, 5. They haven't lost in their last 5 matches. So I see AC Milan beating them. Said maybe like the coach decides to make do one stunt that he doesn't know how to do. Then AS Roma, Salernitana, AS Roma, Venezia Udinese. Venezia actually has been like a surprise package for me, even though I think they are going to
relegate. Let's just move on to Sassuolo Atlanta.
Okay, Sassuolo Atlanta. I'm going for Sassuolo. Then Napoli Fiorentina. Draw.
Alright.
Lazio Genoa. Going for Lazio. Juventus is certainly winning that match. It's a no-brainer.
In the last game,
Inter. Go for Inter. Though I'm not certain they can win, but I'll go for Inter.
Alright, Dimeji.
Inter should be able to win because I feel they need to start putting points on the table back if they know they are serious for the Scudetto. So Juve should also be okay against Cagliari. They should be okay. I think their last games they were a bit sloppy in the midfield. So if they sort that out against Cagliari, they should be okay. Then AC Milan Torino, I feel it's also a draw because their end products in getting goals is already dropping big time. So I feel they will suffer against that. Then Napoli Fiorentina. Those kind of games are not predictable because you never know what to expect from Napoli and you never know what to expect from Fiorentina. So I leave that. I can't predict that. Then the last game, Roma. Jose lost his life, so I feel he will make do of it in the league. So,
alright.
Roma.
So for me, I think Inter would definitely beat Hellas Verona. I think so. Cagliari Juventus. I think Cagliari will really make life difficult for Juve. And in their last 2 or 3 games, Vlahovic has been missing some chances that are normally expected to bury. So I think there's a potential draw in that match. Then Genoa, Lazio. Sarri has been underwhelming for Lazio this season. So I don't know. Although they're still 6th on the table and they really need to win this game. Because Atlanta and Fiorentina are breathing down their neck. 1 point and 2 points respectively. So I think there's also a potential draw in this game, though I'm inclined to tip Lazio to get something out of it. The full 3 points. Napoli Fiorentina. The thing with Napoli is that you never know which version of Napoli is going to turn up.
Exactly.
And with Fiorentina, you know that yes, these guys will attack. They will come out to play. They have the firepower. They have the technique in the midfield, and they have good players in the defense individually. So you never might say, So I think can go either way. Sassuolo Atlanta is another game I feel can go either way because Sassuolo will score you. And Atlanta so far since the injury problem started late January, they've they've been shaky. So that's another game that I feel might go either way. I fully expect Roma to take the 3 points against Salernitana. It might be just a 1-0 win, but I expect Roma to take 3 points. Torino, Milan. See, the thing with Torino is whenever they face all these top clubs, they always step up their game. And Milan, since February, have been finding it hard to score more than 1 goal.
I think
Games they scored 2 goals, they probably won the game 2-1. Most of their wins since is 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. And Torino, they have the capacity to score and make life difficult for you.
Once they score like this.
So I'm itching to see how Paoli bounces back from this, because this was the issue pre-COVID. They didn't score enough goals, so they ended up drawing games, and that was what happened last season, towards the end of season, because they should have won the league, not Inter. All of a sudden, Inter just came last 5 weeks and sealed the league, and that's what is about to happen again this league. So I feel like eventually they might just need to, if they next season, if they buy more attackers for him, which they are looking into buying, and the same thing happens, then they need to be looking at another manager to take them forward. So AC Milan are leading with 67 points, Napoli second with 66 points. They both played 31 games. Inter third with 63 points, although they have a game in hand. Juventus fourth with 59 points. Roma fifth with 54 points. Lazio sixth with 52 points. Atalanta do have a game in hand. They are seventh with 51 points. And this is interesting because the distance between Atalanta and the first mid-February was like 6.7 points. And the distance between them and Juventus was like 10 points. Now Juventus is leading Atlanta with 8 points. That says a lot about Atlanta's form. Yes. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
I don't see how the team will sell out all their best player at the middle of the season to their rival. Poor decision.
Then 8th on the league is Fiorentina. They've really done well this season, especially after selling Vlahovic. They picked up some massive points. They are 8th on the league with 50 points from 30 games played. They also have a game in hand. So after this game week, I don't really see anything happening in the top 4. I don't see any shuffling. I think Inter will move to 66 points. Napoli might probably move level on points with Milan, or just same 1 point difference. So the thing is, I don't really see any shuffling, except maybe Fiorentina leveling on points with Atlanta. Besides that, I don't see any movement on the table. Yeah, so let's move to the last league we'll be talking about this week. Stuttgart versus Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund were emphatically disappointing last week, losing 4-1 to Leipzig at home. It was not even a close game in any sense. Quite disappointing.
And Nkunku's goal was superb. The team goal.
Then Bayern versus Augsburg. Bayern won their last game against Freiburg. That was a quite disappointing game for Freiburg, because they could have moved level on points with, or at least closer to Leipzig. But they're still in contention for Champions League. Then the next game is Bochum versus Leipzig. Bochum won their last game against Hoffenheim, which was quite surprising, because if Hoffenheim had won, they'll be 1 point behind Leipzig, really pushing for Champions League also. Leverkusen won their last game too against Hertha Berlin 2-1. Frankfurt, the next game is Eintracht Frankfurt versus Leipzig. Leipzig won their last game. No, Freiburg lost their last game against Bayern Munich. Then Leipzig versus Hoffenheim. They both Leipzig won the last game while Hoffenheim lost their last game. Now, Toby, what do you think about these fixtures?
Okay, so for Leipzig, Hoffenheim, I'm going Leipzig.
Don't forget, just 4 points that separate.
Yeah, I know. It's just 4 points, and I'm going through their form, though it might not have a lot of goals in it. And I think Hoffenheim won the first leg.
Last time, yeah.
Yeah, they won the first leg. So I think Leipzig has something to.
There's a different coach now.
Has something to show for this one. Then Eintracht Frankfurt versus Freiburg. I'm going for Freiburg.
All right.
Bayern Leverkusen, but from as usual, Bayern Leverkusen anytime.
Right.
Then Bayern versus Augsburg. Augsburg is actually one of Bayern's
tough team.
Yeah, so that match I'll keep my fingers crossed. But Bayern should be able to win comfortably with the Villarreal match in mind. Then
Stuttgart, Dortmund.
No. Actually, Stuttgart. I'll go Stuttgart. Dortmund has been disappointing.
Dimitri, what do you think about these fixtures?
I'll also go with Stuttgart against Dortmund because Dortmund, they are kind of not predictable at the business end of the season. They are always off and on. So Bayern, I give Bayern. Although Kenny is going to give them tough time, but Bayern all true. Then Leipzig and Hoffenheim.
Okay, Leipzig, Hoffenheim.
Yeah, draw. Then Bayern Leverkusen and Bochum. I'll give Bayern Leverkusen to go through.
Frankfurt, Freiburg.
Those two teams. And again, Frankfurt will have Barca in mind. So I feel he will rest some of his key players, knowing that there's nothing to fight for in the league. So draw. I'll go with the draw.
Alright. The thing with Dortmund for me is you never know which Dortmund is turning up. And that has been, when I saw that they offered Marco Rose the job, that's why I was skeptical about him. Because even when he was with Mönchengladbach, you never know what version of Mönchengladbach is going to show up. And let's just talk about Dortmund for a minute. Their recruiting players is not an issue for them. They have eye for talent.
Sure.
But since Klopp left, their managerial appointment have been somehow.
They're not an ambitious club.
It doesn't matter to be an ambitious club or not. But they need stability. They need a manager that can take them to another level, which has not been it from Tuchel to. In fact, I don't understand Lucien Favre's appointment. Another thing I don't now understand about it was giving him 2 years after the failure of the first season he had. They gave him another season.
That's why I said this.
Then they appointed Marco Rose. Their managerial appointment has been poor.
They also appointed Bosch, this BUS guy that.
Oh, Peter Bosz. Peter Bosz was after Tuchel. He didn't finish the season, did he? I think he was sacked midway. I can't even. Peter Bosz was a failure now. He later went to manage Leverkusen. They sacked him too from Leverkusen last season. Peter Bosz is a failure now. He only tried with Ajax, and I feel the reason why he tried Ajax was that season other teams in Holland were off. Because it was the one man you faced in Europa League final now. Peter Bosz is not. I don't rate Peter Bosz as a. But then I feel like going forward, most likely, because when Dortmund lost, they lost one game early February. That they called a meeting immediately after the game. They lost one game in February at home. I expected them to sack him after that game. But I don't know. Depending on how the season ends, I mean, one thing I respect Dortmund for is their patience. So they might probably give him 1 more year. But I don't see anything because Marco Rose, even when he was with Mönchengladbach, they were not all that. They were stubborn. But the thing is, you never know what to expect. They were not consistent. And Bayern, Dortmund over the years has not been consistent. So I don't understand why you will give a manager that has not been consistent, the job. But it's interesting to see how they go with this. I don't know, because you never know what version of Dortmund to expect. So I don't know how the match might go. It might go either way. I don't see a draw in the game. I think either team wins. Bayern, Augsburg, I don't know. I really don't know about the game. But I will just, because it's Bayern, I'll just tip Bayern to win. Then Bochum versus Leverkusen. I'll tip Leverkusen to win all the way. Then Eintracht Frankfurt versus Freiburg. That's another tough game. Because Frankfurt are 7th on the league. if they drop points, Osborg is behind them and all that. And I know Frankfurt are 8 on the league. Ninth. I know Union Berlin is 7th. Yeah. So like they have chance if they can get at least a point out of this or 3 points, they can move closer to playing Europa League. But Freiburg also have been they've been low key, but they've been terrifying this season. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see how that game goes, which I feel might end in a draw.
That's why I go back to the Barca game. I feel they will leave the league and concentrate on Europa.
Then Leipzig, Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim is another team that, over the years they've sold a lot of key players. So I think that has contributed to them not being consistent in the league. So there are another low-key Dortmund, which I feel you never know what version to expect. Also, Leipzig, they sacked Jesse Marsch. They've really been informed. They've tried to get maximum points. But then this game is a close one because Leipzig will play Atlanta again. But it's interesting to see how the game goes. I think it might end up in a draw, but it's interesting to see how the game goes. So in the league, Bayern are first, 28 points. I think they only need 3 points or 4 points to seal the league. Then Dortmund, they are second. They are second on the league. Leverkusen, they are fourth on the league. Leverkusen are third with 51 points. Leipzig fourth with 48 points. Freiburg fifth with 45 points. And Hoffenheim with 44 points. I don't really see anything moving except maybe Hoffenheim and Freiburg shuffling.
Everybody is fighting for second, though. So